Okay, so in this one, part two, I'm going to state what I saved for today, and something that crossed my mind since I uploaded part one of Get Out Your Own Way. Mr. Clarence, in the end of your video in which you were correcting me, you included clips from Angry Man, and I addressed that one, and I saved the other one for today. You also included a clip of Locario, and I decided that I was going to save Locario's clip to address it today in this part two, because I didn't want to go beyond an hour, and I was already an hour and 5 minutes long the last time. Locario cannot be used to correct a Muslim. Locario is in an open marriage, from what he's told some others. If I'm wrong about that, feel free to show me where he said that he's not. But I remember somebody playing a clip of where he was the one that said that he was in an open marriage. And, you know, in all honesty, it would take two private detectives working as a team to follow him around and his wife around simultaneously to compare how active each one is, to know whether she's getting more on the side than him or he's getting more on the side than her. But the thing is this, it boils down to, unfortunately, the chances are she's getting more on the side than he is, but he still has to bear financial responsibility. That's what it comes down to. This being said, you can tell a Muslim about monoandry, that's a woman having only one husband, but no polyandry. You can tell a Muslim about monogamy and polygyny, that's a man having one wife or having more than one. You can tell us up to four. For us, a man can have up to four. So out of polygynous societies, we're actually the stricter ones, because in our religion, a man is limited to 4 wives at a time. There's no limit to the number of concubines, but concubinage is already done away with. And maybe I need to do a talk on how women could become concubines in these days. Maybe I need to do a talk on that, but I'm not the expert. How can a woman become a concubine in modern day times like this? I don't know. What I do know is that these situations in which he talks still reflect a mindset similar to yours. He says to men that we need to, and that's it, right off the bat, right there. What he says we need to do should be true in a normal society. What you would say we need to do are things that should be true in a normal situation, but the West is not normal. Other places outside the West aren't necessarily normal either. Now that we do know. Now, when he said that men who identify with other men that have problems with women expose themselves as such, they make themselves look bad. Well, that they make themselves look bad to women and to men who see things from women's perspective. That is, for men who think that the Western woman's wants and preferences are normal. The idea to understand is that they're not. If I don't accept that her wants and preferences are even completely normal compared to other women's, then that argument doesn't hold water. Again, I've already said you can compare the Western woman to a broken vending machine, or you can compare her to an impulsive snack store owner, giving the best snacks for free or for next to nothing to the most entertaining kids in the area, and then charging the rest of the neighborhood and the client base more than the price of those best snacks in exchange for second-rate and below snacks to cover the losses, instead of just eating those losses themselves. That's how you compare her. She's not a snack store owner that sells everything at its price. That's not who she is. Other women may be, but that Western woman's not. So when men have problems with her, that's usually because of what's either what's right with the man or what's not wrong with the man. It's usually one of those two. Because we already know if there's something wrong with these men, chances are that would increase their chances. We understand that already. I mean, you got kids that have to take pills at school and they don't even know the name of the pill and what the medicine is, but they got to take these pills to sit still. Now that's a disability. But because they act up and they act bad when they don't get the medicine, the girls like them. You got other guys who have to take these same pills, but because if they don't get the pills, their grades just fall. But they don't act a fool and act bad and start fights when they don't get these pills. The girls overlook them. May not hate them, but they overlook them. And the thing is, you ain't even got to be a square. I saw when I was coming up, I remember this kid and his name was Malik. I'll give his name. Malik never messed with nobody. He was a good kid. He got along with other kids quite easily, actually. He was just known for being the one that don't mess with nobody. Somebody messed with him, he hauled off and hit him. The thing was, when it came down to who the girls were picking, he was invisible. Now, they were not mean to him. But when it came down to who they actually wanted to be with, these dudes were violent. They weren't guys like Malik, with whom they'd have been better off because he would fight if he needed, but he never started anything. He didn't even get into misunderstandings that easily. They'd have been better off with him. Doesn't start nothing. He's likely to survive, and even in an environment in which he is, a long time. But he was invisible. Now, the next thing I wanted to point out, and this came to my mind afterwards, after I did the last upload, is that in terms of a debate, as you said, we're not going to see eye to eye. I'm really doing this for the audience. I don't expect you to learn something new per se. And you don't expect me to learn something new. You're going to see it from women's point of view. I'm not going to. Not the Western woman's point of view. I think that what you say is true for a normal situation, a normal environment. Yes, that's true. It's just not going to work in the West, which is why I tell men bounce. Sure, self-improve, but just fit the guck up out the West. Don't self-improve and then turn around and try to match yourself up with a woman from the West, trying to have a future and a legacy. Don't do that. So, I do think this though. There is some ones that you can debate about this. First, I will list them. Then I will tell you towards the end of the list, the last two to whom I would give priority if I were in your shoes. Shay Sade, Chantel Simone, Melanie King, Pink Book Lessons, Celebrity Podcast, also known as Daphne Ford Sutton, Crimson Cure, Red Femme Diaries. Did I mention Pink Book Lessons? Yeah, I'm sure I did, yeah. To debate, I would suggest with them that you debate. And the last two I mentioned being the priority because they've given not only the most confessions, but Red Femme Diaries, her first name is Nyla, actually, not the divester, but Nyla is the name of the lady that runs the Red Femme Diaries vlog and channel on YouTube. She has given confessions. Melanie King has given confessions. Most of these ladies have. I'm not just sitting on my standpoint and on my square because I'm bitter, because I had trouble with women. It's because I was lied to by them, but also because I saw other men lied to, and I saw that the worse a personality a brother had growing up, the better his chances were. The better personality he had, the worse his chances were. End of. I noticed that there was not only an immoral but very anti-moral component to women's selection. African American women's selection. I noticed that right off the bat. I noticed the hybristophilia. They were choosing pretty much like animals, like another species would. Also understand, Nyla's been given a prognosis. She doesn't expect to live much longer. Doctors have told her, they told her months ago, I forgot how long she's got left, but it ain't long, according to the doctors. Now, I hope that they're wrong, but if you debate her, she actually has a motive to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, that she understands it. And the reason for that is because, well, frankly, she doesn't expect to be around long, and she wants to leave a legacy of brutal honesty to which her sons can later listen. That's what she wants to do. That's what she's trying to accomplish. Don't mind that noise. That's my neighbor outside throwing something in the trash can. So I don't blame you if you want to debate, but like you said and like I've said, I'm convinced I'm right and you're wrong. You're convinced you're right and I'm wrong. But for you to actually understand, you've got this laundry list, and these are women that will tell you, they will say to you why it is that men not only feel like I feel, but actually stand on the squares that we stand on, preach what we preach, while we are convinced of our standpoints. Thanks for listening. Black heart, black mind, black out. And as always, black, heterosexual, non-select male power, because Keisha don't like it. And black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.